legit, yeah. I've been by better days since I was legit. Represent, that's legit. Ask your mama about it. Coldest story ever told. When the storm had hit my home, I was out there on the road. I ain't had nowhere to go. They used to turn their nose at me later. I suppose this the life I chose. Every day, man, it's a show.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Can You Be with Authentic Ears. We are back with a new episode. This is probably going to also be a 2-3 part series. Like I told y'all before, I want to welcome back to the stage our guest, our lovely guest, Miss Tracy. And we're going to be talking about aftermath, when healing makes you the villain. Welcome to the stage, Miss Tracy.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Look, I'm here. Look, I'm here, and we had us a nice little pep talk before this. So, for everybody that's out there, make sure you like, subscribe, and share Bold and Driven EP. Follow me at Authentic Ears. In the description, I have all of Miss Tracy handler information, her TikTok, her Instagram, as well as her YouTube page as well. So I want y'all to get engaged, ask questions. Hopefully we can give you some answers. I do want to put this disclaimer out here. We are not licensed therapists. We're just talking about our experience, and our experience may not be your experience. Keep it straight, respectful. And I say that because a lot of times when we're on social media and you see people posting stuff, if I don't agree with somebody, I just don't say anything. Like that's just kind of how I am. I just don't say anything because what is it to say and what is it for me to say that their truth is not true? A lot of times we go off of what mainstream say, how things are supposed to happen. And that goes on to what we are actually talking about. We're talking about going no contact. If you did not catch last week's episode, please go over to Bold and Driven EP, like, subscribe, and share. And you can catch the episode last week. If you didn't catch any clips, or if you want to highlight some things that myself or Tracy said, go up under our pages, drop us a comment. We'll chat with you. I'm gonna block you if you go to talk crazy. I don't know, Miss Tracy, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna respond. I'm just gonna respond to him. Everybody's journey is not the same.
Yes.
And everybody has rights to their opinion, and I have a right to tell what happened to me. So
yes.
Period. And I mean, I'm no nonsense on my page, on my Facebook page is where it goes down, and it's a safe place for survivors. So,
and I love your page too. So we just chatted a little bit before we came on. I was telling you how I went no contact, and I kind of was struggling with it because of the topic that we're talking about today, the aftermath. Now you're getting judged when me trying to heal. Now I'm the villain.
absolutely.
To y'all, I'm just protecting my peace, and I'm protecting not even my peace. I'm protecting myself, my sanity, my health. Because when you're stressed and depressed, your bones start aching. You be wondering what's going on with you. Your bones start aching. You either don't eat right or you eat too much. You either pick up habits that are not healthy for you, whether it's numbing yourself with drugs and alcohol or whatever it may be. Whether it's numbing yourself, and we don't even talk about whether you numb yourself, ladies, with sex. You numbing yourself because now it feels real good to me, and now I'm numbing myself that way, and I'm not dealing with I'm not dealing with what's really going on in me. So I want to say thank you because it's been a journey for me, and I do want to say thank you, Tracy, because I'm big following you. I'm like, ooh, look at her, she posted something good today.
And
I'm
and I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank all of my people who comment on my post, whether it's good or whether it's bad,
yeah,
because I'm bringing awareness, and it might not be the way that you would do it,
yeah,
and I respect that. I
yeah,
do, and but I'm not. It's my season of letting it out, and
yeah,
just not holding it in. When you've held it in for so long, um that's a part of healing,
yeah,
is to talk about it, because you're making sure that you're remembering that your reality is your reality, because
yeah,
you've been trained for so long that to believe that your reality is not what it is.
yeah,
So it's part of my healing process. And if the page is not for you, then I respectfully just keep on clicking.
yeah, yeah. So what does healing look like to you, Tracy?
Healing for me is let me put it like this. I have I'm a woman of a particular age, so I have more days behind me than I do in front of me, right?
Yeah,
So healing to me is my peace.
yeah.
Okay, peace is priceless. You can't put
You
a
can't put
price tag.
no money on
You
it.
can't put a price tag on it. Okay, so you see billionaires, and millionaires that have all this money, but they're not living a peaceful life. So money don't
Mm-mm.
buy everything. Okay,
Mm-mm.
so and I can't sacrifice my peace, for chaos, for
Yes,
mess, for being in spaces where you know you're not being treated the way you want to be treated. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? So it's time out for that. It's about, and people may think that you're selfish, but you're not being selfish. You're actually putting yourself first for once, because a lot of abusers spend their lifetime being people pleasers.
yes, yeah,
Okay, so when you step back and you're protecting your peace, then people think that you're selfish, and they want the old person back. They want the old Tracy back. Well, the old Tracy wasn't. She didn't have no boundaries. Okay,
mm,
so I'm sure you do want that old Tracy back, because she was letting shit slide,
mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not letting nothing slide anymore. You
Yeah,
know, I'm standing 10 toes down in my on my boundaries. You got one time. You
yeah.
got one time to cross
And
my
you
boundary,
done through.
and you know contact as well. I'm just, and a lot of people get it, so it's like they feel like you're so hard and you're so mean and being so cruel, but going no contact was hard. I mean, I got, especially not with, I'm not just no contact with my mother. I'm no contact with my siblings. I'm no
Yeah,
contact with my cousins. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
A whole, even though I was raised by my stepfather, his entire family, I'm no contact with them. These are people that I've known all my life. So
yeah. And that's hard because those are people that you are used to being around, no matter the situation that you was in. And some of them, especially the older aunts and uncles, in my opinion, I would think that they would understand. I would think that they would understand and not take sides and take the right side and not try to pick one over the other. But I have noticed that that does not happen. It does not happen once you decide that, hey, you talked about boundaries, Tracy. I'm going to set this boundary right here. I don't want you to cross this line after 5 o'clock. People will still come on across the line after 5 and then be upset because you did set the boundaries. But right is right, is wrong is wrong. If Tracy say, "Hey, LaKenya, you can call me, but I normally don't talk on the phone after 6. But
mm-hmm.
I call Tracy anyway." Oh, I just want real quick. And I hate when they say real quick. Let me just tell you
Mhm.
this one thing. So, what about my boundaries and my peace of mind? But I know that a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people because it may not be a lot of people. My family hasn't really said anything because I'm pretty sure that my family is not that large anyway. So I'm pretty sure that my mom has painted this narrative that she wants everybody to believe, and these are the people that they're believing this shit.
Uh-huh.
Like they're actually believing it, even though they have seen the way she operates towards other people. They have seen the way she has operated towards her children and her grandchildren. They
Mhm.
have seen the way she cannot keep stable relationships, but because I'm choosing to heal, that makes me the villain. It makes me the bad person. So when you talk about those boundaries that you had to set before, did you do some of those before you went no contact and then they disregarded those boundaries? Or is it, hey, I went no contact, these are the boundaries, or were the boundaries set prior to and they just disregarded them and you like, okay, no, now I'm doing no contact.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a before I went no contact, my mother would constantly cross boundaries.
Hmm.
Um, if I don't know if I shared it with you, but I have a daughter that has a intellectual disability. My
Yeah, you
oldest
did tell
daughter.
me you had an older daughter. Hmm.
Okay, and so in regards to my daughter, me being her primary caregiver, I would once in a while, when my daughter would be under my mother's care, I would give specific instructions, uh, and my mom would totally disregard it, every single time. And then
Hmm.
what it does is it gets my daughter off of her routine because we have to have a routine with her, and
Yeah.
it's like starting back all over again. And it's like basically making me look like the bad guy because I'm enforcing, the rules with my daughter. But when she's over to her big mama's house, she can do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's causing a conflict between my daughter and myself. And
Hmm.
just and my mother, she's going to continue to do it. And I would ask her nicely not to do it. She would continue to break these boundaries. So
Yeah.
when I decided to go no contact, I went full fledged no contact,
Hmm.
because I had gone over the years. I would go no contact, and like I said, someone would call, or my sisters would say, we miss you, and that whole thing that we talked about with, oh, that's just how mama is, and go back and go back and forth. But the very last time when there was enough was enough, it had to do with my daughter, and I these type of people, they're so evil that they'll try to break up families. Okay,
Yes.
and they'll spread a lie, a flat out lie, and spreading doing it to my siblings, and to me with the siblings, the flying monkeys. So if you've already decided what side you've chosen, when you sit up there listening to it, okay,
Yes. Yeah.
because if you know me, and you're gonna be like, mama, damn well that ain't what went down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out on your BS every time. So that's why I'm the black sheep scapegoat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
And
mean,
it's easy to pick one person to be that scapegoat, to be that black sheep, because now it weaponized the other people where it ain't happening to me, so I don't care. And with the siblings, um, a lot of times they don't even know what's happening to them because they haven't got the help themselves.
right, right.
They haven't did the work themselves where they don't even know what's happening to them at all. And I wanna I wanna ask you something, and I wanna go first. How does how did it make you feel? Well, I guess I'm gonna ask myself this question. How did it make me feel when I did not feel part of the family? I felt like I had to go above and beyond to be a part of the family. So I spent a while in the military. When I say I helped everybody out, I helped everybody out. They needed this. I would get it for them. I would sacrifice my own stuff to make sure their bills was paid. But then I realized later on in life that they're in the same situation that they were in 2, 3 years ago. So it made me feel bad, like I wasn't doing enough. Because who don't want to be loved? Let's just be for real. Who don't want to have a great relationship with their parents? Like nobody, I don't know nobody to say I don't want to have a good relationship with my parents. Nobody wants that. So we sacrifice so much. And I know I sacrifice so much to feel that love, to be liked. And
because
I don't want my kids to try to make me like them because I actually love them. Like they shouldn't have to do extra stuff to make me like them.
Right. Because you've been conditioned to believe that you have to provide in order to be loved.
Yes.
And it starts, back in childhood. They condition you to do that because the relationships most narcissistic people, they have transactional relationships.
Yes.
It's like what you can do for me. Okay. Mm-hmm. So like even with my parents' marriage, it's transactional. It's what he can do for her and what she can do for him. Yeah. It's not true love. And they'll think that because a narcissist can't really love. They don't love themselves.
They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't even love themselves, even though they'll say, I love myself. I love myself.
And they're trying to convince themselves that they love themselves when they're saying that because they're empty in the inside.
Yes. Yeah. You know. And then they like when other people boost them up. Mm-hmm. When they say, oh, they're such a wonderful person, but I don't have to go around saying I love myself. Yeah. Because I can feel myself love in the morning when I get up. But when you are under a spell, hypnotized by and conditioned to not know the difference in really loving yourself and not loving yourself, you don't know the difference. You don't know where you're at that point of your life. Right. Whatsoever. So it's if y'all are watching this, like, subscribe, and share. Bold and Driven EP. Follow us. All our information is in the description. Yeah. So when you're conditioned to be that way, I think sometimes you could become self-sabotaging as well. And you can start seeing those traits. And that's something that, once again, y'all, we talking the real raw and the real. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about everything else, but we talk about it here. You start becoming somebody else, and that's when you have to wake up and say, boom, I need to set these boundaries because I don't want to bicker and fight and argue with nobody. Right. No matter who it is. Nobody wakes up and say, I want to have a relationship with my parents and they've been good to me.
Right.
Nobody.
In my opinion, and it may not be a popular opinion, but any relationship between a parent and a child, even at my age, is the responsibility of the parent. If they want that relationship, then they're gonna have to fix that relationship. And then in my case, when I'm not the only child in the family that's gone no contact. Mm-hmm. Okay, so but I'm the only one that's talking about it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not the only one that's been that has childhood trauma, but I'm the only one that's talking about it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and they may come to it, later. They some people may not never realize what it is, and then they don't want to face the pain, or the shame.
Because it's a lot of pain.
Yeah, and it's a lot of shame that goes with it. And there's still there's always going to be some kid when there's a big family that's going to try to uphold that family image. no matter what it takes. So the truth teller, is going to get the butt of it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so with that being said, after the aftermath, with no contact, is they're going to try to start having people that you haven't talked to in years, that you don't forgot that you knew, gonna start
Yeah.
reaching out to you. Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot I ever even knew you. And
Yeah.
here you are.
And then you're gonna get friend requests from people from you ain't seen in 10 to 15 years that
Yes.
you have nothing in common with.
Why are you here?
Yeah. What are you here for? And then
Yeah.
and then they're gonna start within the first 30 days of me going no contact, my mother and my stepfather popped up at my job. They'll start stalking you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have those.
That's
They don't even live here, so I ain't even got to worry about it. And they ain't
that's a
coming
form of
unless somebody else
intimidation.
do.
Yeah, that's a form of intimidation. Um, popping up, childhood friends are reaching out to you just trying to see if you're okay. Well, you ain't never reached out to me before to see if I'm okay, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's what you're gonna expect. And going no contact, you gotta be you gotta not care what people think about you,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And you got to be able to transform yourself. You got to be able to say, I might be over here in this house by myself,
Hmm.
working on myself and healing by myself and not get any support from friends or family because everybody's going to have their own opinion. You can have your opinion is your opinion. The way you grew up and the way your household was that's your household. But you can't come and tell somebody else how their household was, and then you take sides and study really saying, okay, if I really care, tell me what really went on. And any rational person is gonna say, Tracy, now you know you're wrong for that, or Tracy, you know you're right. But when you're transforming yourself and you trying to do stuff for yourself, nobody's gonna call you.
Kendra, you gotta be so on your journey, on your healing journey, that you don't give two F's about what
Yeah,
people got think about you. I don't. I
yeah,
don't. And I'm not in the business of trying to convince anybody of what happened to me, because I know what happened to me. You was
yeah,
not there. You
yeah,
wasn't there. Okay. So why would I wait till I'm a woman of a particular age to come out and say some lies? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because it
I'm
don't do
not.
you
I'm
no
not.
good.
I'm not doing that. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like, what is that? So you just got to be ready to. You got to have that tough skin. But let me tell you this: God prepared me for it, baby, because I've already been in isolation. Okay, all these years, me being the black sheep, me being the scapegoat, I'm already used to being by myself. I like myself, so I mean, what's the problem? You
and
know?
let's talk about how you. And it may sound crazy to some people, but you could be in isolation and still be in the same house and the same family dynamics with somebody. You could be because you're all alone by yourself. You're on
Oh
that
yeah.
island by yourself, and nobody is there to actually who's there to actually step in the gap and fill in that gap for you to say,
Yeah.
hey, you treating LaKenya the wrong way. You're making a difference, and people see it. But I think and I'm going to talk about the black community. We were always taught what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell no, whatever happens in this house, stay in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily that's not
Yeah,
right.
that's just an old cliche. It
That's
sounds
not
good.
right, especially when you're being abused
Right.
mentally, verbally abused. You just don't want me to say nothing about the abuse that I have been shoot withstanding for years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about 10, 15, 20 years. We're talking about
Decades.
years of neglect,
That,
years of being the black sheep, years of being the scapegoat or whatever else is whatever was going on at that time, and years of them thinking that the scapegoat is the person that's supposed to take care and save the family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people grow up on, and that's what some people are living today.
Yeah,
They're living it today, and it's not healthy.
No,
for anybody,
no.
really.
The scapegoat, and the scapegoat, there's always, when there's a big family, there's a scapegoat, there's a golden child, and
Mm-hmm.
we
That
already
middle
talked about
child in there, people don't really pay them any attention. They there, but they ain't really there.
the middle child.
Yeah.
The middle child. My sister is the middle child, so she says she has middle child issues. Okay,
Yeah.
Because everybody forgets about the middle child, but those roles can be switched just depending on which child can make the parent look good, because that's that's a thing too.
That part.
That's a thing too. So if you get a high paying job, and you're moving up the corporate ladder, they'll take credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how we raised them, and not giving the child the recognition, like, you done sweated and worked hard, and you deserve that promotion. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. Oh no, we taught them to have a good work ethic. Okay. Well, you might have taught us to have a good work ethic. I've been working since I was 14. Okay.
Yeah.
And everything, like I said, two things can be right at the same time. You can teach me to have a good work ethic, and you can also be an abuser at the same damn time.
Yeah.
So one does not, cross out the other one.
Yeah.
So,
And teaching, and let's talk about how you could be taught something and then you could be abused at the same time. We'll talk about the good work ethic. Yeah, you could be taught to have a good work ethic. I learned that more so from my grandmother and my aunts on my father's side. So my mom never held down a job of, long as I can remember. You can be taught that, but when do you feel like it crosses the line to abuse? I want my kids to be successful, of course. I want them to go out and be able to take care of themselves, not have to depend on people, not have to depend on the welfare system. That's what I truly want for my kids. But I have seen where some parents hammer it. If you don't do this, it's like you get bullied back at home when you go to that job interview and you didn't get the job. Now I'm talking about how you should have did it this way. I told you this, maybe that job just wasn't for me. And or vice versa. When you do get the job, like you said, it was like, oh yeah, I taught them that. But that's grandstanding on the parent side. Yes, you may have taught them. So when do the lines cross between this is what you were taught, and I'm pretty much, you were bullied into doing something that you probably didn't want to do in the first place?
well, you go into a cycle of wanting to please again. Like I said, that people pleasing, because the love is conditional. So it's based on when you got that job and you're doing good and you got the promotion. Well, what you gonna do next?
Yeah. So
You
now
know?
I'm already thinking about this not even good enough for you.
Yeah, because nothing's going to ever be good enough for you. Or then they'll sneak in and say something like, well, your sister got so and so and so and so. She working at, yeah, she making 3 figures and such and such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? So,
And then that's where that sibling rivalry come in and like be happy for each child individually, because each child is going to be different individually. And we said this on the last show. No two children they're going to be different individually.
yeah.
So why try to cause a divide and want your kid, the sisters and brothers to be competing against each other? Because I'm competing against none of my siblings. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I don't have the talents that they have, just like they may not have the same talents as me. So I feel a fool to be trying to compete. But I have seen and I have been in situations where my mom would want us to compete against each other. Like, oh, look what she doing. Look what they doing. Look what they got. And you don't know how your siblings don't tell each other everything. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most siblings probably talk more to they friend. They friends probably know a little more than them about them than they do.
Yeah,
So
that's why. Yeah, it's funny you say that because that's the reason why. Like I have my mama try to befriend my friends. Okay, so because she can't get any information from my siblings because I ain't telling them shit because I know they're gonna get back. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna try to befriend my friend so they can get information on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's I mean even my sisters, you know, want to be friends with my friends. I'm like, what? I look up and they all friends with my friends on Facebook. I'm like, why are they befriending my friends? You know, it's just weird shit. But
that is so funny because I always felt like that was I want to be my sister's friend. I want to be cordial with them when I go, you know, if I'm around my sister and treat them with respect. But I want to be your best friend for what?
No.
It's super weird.
Yeah, that's something else. But you know, going no contact is not for the weak. And I said this in the last podcast. You know, everybody can't go no contact, but you can definitely go low contact to protect your peace.
And what for low contact? What have you had to go low contact before? Have you did low contact before, and how did that work for you? And if not, what would you say that would look like for someone who is not, who probably can't go all the way no contact, who are not all the way there to go no contact, and that could be mentally, physically, or whatever the case may be. What if you went through that? What does that look like for you? And if you haven't, how would you recommend someone if they're thinking about that today?
I would I have had to go low contact. I did it like I said several times before I even before I even knew that low contact and no contact was a thing, right? Okay. So what it looks like to me is not responding to them text messages immediately like I said.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Setting my boundary, like when I'm invited to something that I know that I'm not going to be able to go to, I tell them immediately I'm not going to be able to make that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now, so that way leading up to the event, stop texting me. I'm gonna let you know right now I'm not going to be able to make that. You know, that's in a lot of people that have to go low contact with their narcissists are couples that have children together. Okay, so you can't be no contact with your child's, you know, parent. So one word answers are sufficient, you know, and no is a complete sentence.
Yes. It don't nothing else come. That is a closed-ended answer. No. Ain't no need. And we always, I have seen where you find yourself explaining the no. This is before, and I asked you that because I have had to do low contact where I'm like, okay, I ain't answering the phone on these. Like I had days, y'all, where I be like, I ain't gonna answer the phone on these days. I'm putting my phone on do not disturb after this time because I don't want to talk. I'm not doing it. So I have been in situations where it could be very nerve-wracking and tiresome when you are trying to juggle both. When you don't know where the no contact, where the low contact lies, the lines are blurred. You feel like you have to answer that phone. You feel like you have to answer that text. But I do want to say, when you start going low contact or I'm going to say low contact or no contact, you ain't answering at all. They will call your phone 50 times in a row to the point, and I'm saying this from experience, to the point that you will answer and think somebody died.
Right. Yes.
And they will hit you with what you doing. What do you want? What do you want? And it's kind of like that's that control mechanism.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call until you actually answer the phone, and I really don't want nothing, but I'm just calling to be calling. And my biological mom does it all the time. I hate for somebody to call me back to back. Anybody that know me, do not call. Why are you calling me back to back? But
Right.
there was a control thing. And then she didn't want nothing
Yeah.
when I answered the phone. So I had to learn to love from a distance.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and honestly, I wouldn't even. I'm gonna talk about this some other time. I wouldn't even call it love because I really don't have any attachments there, and that may be bad, hard to say, or hard for people to listen to, or to even swallow. It's like what
Mhm.
what it's nothing there because you've been isolated from me for so long
Yeah.
that what we it you can't rekindle something, especially, and I'm over 40.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you,
Well, you
how,
can't rekindle anything if people are not going to if they're not going to be held accountable. You can't. I can't rekindle with that.
mm-hmm,
I can't. Okay. So a lot of people feel like, well, you need to just forgive and forget. People forgot that I told my mother and my stepfather that I forgave them. I forgave them. I don't have no because I got to get right with the Lord, and
mm-hmm,
I don't want any kind of revenge.
yeah,
Okay, I don't wish you bad, and I don't wish no good. Okay, whatever happens to you is what God has for you. Okay, because I truly believe that they're gonna have to answer for what they've done.
yeah,
So God's gonna handle that. But as for me, I'm going to I can tell what happened to me. Okay. That's the good thing that came out of it is God showed me what my passion was.
yeah,
Okay. Now you remember we talked about you wake up in the morning and you feel like you ain't even really working, because
yeah,
you're
yes,
doing what you love to do. Okay.
yes,
I love to empower people about this illness, about this narcissistic personality disorder, because I've lived it. Okay.
yes,
It's nothing that I mean, I'm studying on it, but it's not something that I just decided to do. This has been my life and it's affected me. So
yes,
if my mother doesn't want to be held accountable, you have to have a hard conversation.
yes,
Okay. And if the hard conversation never comes, okay, some people, they will sever their relationships with their children in order to uphold an image.
yeah,
And I have to live with um the possibility that I'll never get an apology. I'll never get anybody to
mm-hmm,
recognize what they did to me. Okay.
yeah,
But I'm going to tell my story
yeah.
because I know what happened to me. So
And them
I
hard
mean,
conversations sometimes that people have, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tracy, are not genuine hard conversations. Because I've had a conversations with my biological mother, and she swore that she was a changed person. You got to have actions behind those hard
oh yeah.
conversations. If somebody said, if my children came to me and said, Mom, I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z, or you did X, Y, and Z, and it makes me feel this way. And we have a genuine heart to heart conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If I am truly wanting to mend that relationship to be a better mother, I cannot resort back to my same bad behavior 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now because those hard conversations don't mean anything. And you can have many of them and they don't mean nothing at the end for the person who does not, what you have said, Tracy, want to accept responsibility, do not want to take any type of accountability for their behavior, for their actions, for the way that they treat people. So when you do have those hard conversations, especially now, we're talking more about the aftermath. You've had those hard conversations. Now you in the thick of it. You in it, you in the thick of it, and you need to turn back around and say, okay, I want to be mentally and emotionally abused, or you're going to say, I'm going to move forward to continue my healing and my journey. When
Mm-hmm.
you are in the thick of it and it starts waking you up in the middle of the night, I don't know if this happens to you, and you think about it, how do you say, this is what I'm doing. I'm in this safe space for myself right now, and I don't want to revert back to feeling guilty because now my healing is making me a villain because, like you said, people are calling, people are reaching out. How would you say that you would deal with that if that situation arose with you?
I mean, if it's not conducive to my healing journey, then I just have to let it go.
Mhm.
And that's with anybody. You know, I respectfully, I'm so into my journey. I just I'm pouring into myself right now.
Yeah.
I'm pouring into myself. I'm healing that little girl, because the Tracy that sits here on this screen is not the Tracy that's being healed. It's that little girl inside of me that I'm healing. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't see, they don't know it's that deep. So I have to give that Tracy the love and the affection and the emotional attention that she didn't receive. So that's what a lot of people don't get it. So pour into yourself. You know, I start exercising, I start dancing, I start you taking my mind off of that,
Yeah.
doing something else, studying, some more stuff about going through this healing journey, because it's going to be hard for you, because
Yeah.
you sometimes you want to pick up and call your sister, you know what I'm saying, and see, if what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I'm going through that right now, you know what I'm saying, and I and sometimes I just sit down and break down and cry,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
got to get it out.
Yeah.
I got to get it out. So I know that I'm healing, because I used to couldn't get through my story without crying. You feel me? So it still hurts and it's cutting, but I know I'm healing, because I'm and that's the reason why I have to keep talking about it, keep
Yeah.
sharing it, and keep bringing awareness to it, because to me, the toxic behavior in the Black community is like slavery. They want to act like it didn't happen.
Yeah. Like it didn't happen.
Like it didn't happen. So that's the cycle that we have to break. That, I mean, like I said, it may not happen in my lifetime, but on down the line, my kids are going to tell their kids, my mom had to go no contact with her mother because of this type of behavior. And this is, that's how you break generational curses.
Yeah. And breaking generational curse, I'm glad you said that, is talking about it.
Yes.
Why do we sit up and not talk about what really happened? And I am talking more of age boundaries. Of course, you ain't gonna tell the 5-year-old,
Right.
this is what's going. But when your kids become of an age where they're able to understand, 12, 13, where they can actually, because that's when you start comprehending at school, that's in the book, you can explain to them in a very subtle way, hey, this is what's going on, and these are the steps that we take. Yes, I don't believe in telling children everything, because now you're putting that stress on them as well, where now they have to make a decision, because they learn it from their parents.
Right.
They learn it from their parents. So yeah, you could put a lot of stress. Oh, I'm not going over there but if you tell them in a different kind of way to make them understand that, hey, this is a healing process, it opens up something else in them where they can say, okay, this is not right. And I'm saying that because I have 2 children, and now that they older, I can really give it to them like, hey, look, something is wrong with the lady.
Right.
I'm telling you that right now. But before, I wouldn't say that. But then I'm going to contradict myself here. If I knew something was wrong with her and she was this way and had whatever diagnosed or undiagnosed mental disorder, why was I subjecting my children to that? And that's because I wasn't healed, and that's where the generational curse keeps going on, because children it's learned behavior.
Yeah.
The kids just don't come up and say, I'm going to be like this. They look at the people that are around them, and they pull from everybody. They pull from their cousins, they pull from their aunts, they pull from their uncles. If they see something, they idolize something in that person, it triggers something in their brain where they say, oh, I want to be like that person. So if they are around a whole bunch of drama, bickering, fighting, going back and forth, no matter if I do say, hey, y'all, this is not right, but I'm subjecting them to this bad behavior. And when does it stop if we don't stop the generational curses and the generational trauma right now?
It's not going to stop. And children are very intuitive. They're going to start asking questions, you know. And when they ask the questions, don't tell them when they ask the question, that's when they're ready to hear it. Don't tell them, oh, well, I have to wait till you're older, or, you know, whatever. If they're old enough to ask, they're old enough to get the answer.
Yeah. Or stay out of grown people business.
Right.
Stay out of grown people business. But like you said, and I didn't even think about that, if they old enough to ask, that means that they see what is actually going on, and they trying to figure out, hey, is this even right? And they may be asking because they may visit a friend's house and say, they'll be cussing and hollering up in there. Why we doing it over here? You just never know, because once they start getting around, once they go outside and start getting around other people, they start seeing different things. And they start seeing, okay, this is I think I knew at an early age that something was wrong with my mom. Very early age. I'm not gonna say my grandmother, she explained it, but not to the extent where I could have made better decisions on the relationship when I got older. It was explained, but like you said, not explained where I was actually told this is not the behavior of a mother. So therefore,
I'll be right back.
Okay. Therefore, we need to actually stop that behavior. Hey, y'all. Tracy had to step out, and while we're on this, I want to say like, subscribe, and share Bold and Driven EP. Follow me on at Authentic Ears. We're going to be here. We're going to have actually 2 more series on this, and we are going to talk about love doesn't mean unlimited access to your nervous system. So I'm going to go back because I was actually talking to Tracy, so I couldn't continue the conversation while I was talking to her while she stepped away. Love does not, that doesn't mean that they need to have access to your nervous system. If you feel any kind of anxiety building up or anything when you are having a conversation, and we're not talking about just for mothers, we're talking about anybody, any relationship that you have where you feel uncomfortable or you feel like you are playing second fiddle to this person, they're not treating you right, they're doing anything. Those things need to be 100% checked. They need to be 100% checked at all times. I will tell you, I used to get a lot of anxiety when my mom did call or did say something because I didn't know what was coming next and what was not coming next. Now, lifestyle share, Bold and Driven. Let me bring Miss Tracy back to the stage. Miss Tracy, how you feeling, girl?
I've been talking so much, girl.
You told me that before we had got on.
I had to go get me a cough drop. I'm good though.
But you know what? This weather has been so crazy out here. I don't know where y'all at, but we out in the Texas area. Like it was chilly this morning when I came out from work. I'm like, it feels kind of good out here. And yesterday, I only had on a thin little jacket, girl.
Okay.
That's
Texas for you, child.
Look, it'll do it to you. It will do it to you. Tracy, I just kind of stop mid-sentence on what we were talking about. I did express that love doesn't mean someone having access to your nervous system. So that is something that we're going to be talking about because we get a lot of anxiety. If you feel that when somebody calls you, this show is for you.
I feel that when I go into my parents' house, I get anxiety.
Yeah.
My whole body language changes.
Yeah. And you're not yourself. Hey, you all. We're gonna be back here. I don't know when. Probably next week. Y'all got to like, subscribe, and share Bold and Dream to find out exactly what we're gonna be talking about. So we're gonna be back here. Miss Tracy, do you have any last words, honey?
I don't have I don't have any last words. I don't think. If you are thinking about going no contact or low contact, inbox me. I'm about to start doing one-on-one consultations.
Okay.
So yeah, comment in the comment section or reach out to me on social media, and I can help you guide you through your journey of no contact or low contact. But I really appreciate you giving me the platform to talk about this topic.
I am glad to have you on this platform. And Miss, I'm actually looking now so I could give it to you all. And I'm gonna actually post it down here so y'all will know. And it's also in the description. You can go in there and like, and I want you to actually subscribe to and follow Miss Tracy, so you can actually, start getting some of this stuff out right along with everybody else that probably have some issues that you don't want to talk about. You may not want to come on here and actually talk about it. You may not want to drop your comments because, of course, it is hard to go no contact in the aftermath and to even talk about this publicly because once this get on out here on mainstream, it's out here. So I can understand how that would be kind of scary for a lot of people. But I dropped Miss Tracy information there. I actually think that's your TikTok handle. Let me see. Is that your TikTok, girl? Miss
Um,
or that's your IG?
that's my Wait a minute. I think that's my TikTok.
My bad, y'all. That's her TikTok, but it's right on the actual page. And then here's Miss Tracy's IG. If y'all would like it. Remember the other one is her TikTok. My bad. Don't judge me. Charge it to my eyes over here. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. Bold and Driven is gonna be back next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be dropping whatever the topic may or may not be. But you gotta like, subscribe, and share. As Miss Tracy said, she is gonna be doing consultation where you can have someone a safe place where you can actually talk, where you can share. I want you to take this journey very serious because it is something that you can't you could come back from. Some people can't come back from because some people parents will say, okay, you left, don't come back. Just because you go no contact or low contact does not mean that you're going to be in on that journey forever. But it's until you actually heal and you're able to set boundaries and not break those boundaries that you have set or be manipulated into breaking those boundaries. Because a lot of times we set boundaries and we get manipulated into breaking those boundaries. Hey y'all, thank you for joining us today, Miss Tracy. I hope you are feeling a lot better.
Thank you so much.
Look, cause that 45 and look that 45 minutes up. Take care. Hey y'all, continue to tune in to Authentic Years. Hey, also, oh yeah, TMI News is coming back on the 16th of February. So you gotta like, subscribe, and share Bold and Driven to actually be able to see what he's gonna be talking about. It's gonna be Mr. TMI Take himself. He is gonna be on there talking crazy as always, and then I'll be airing on Thursday. We are building our platform. If you need a place where you want to come and perfect your craft and podcasting, y'all, this is just something that I am doing. I am I don't think I'm a professional at this at all whatsoever. I'm just doing stuff, really. But I do like to talk and I do like to share. I like to talk and share things that I am interested in. So, and anything that I talk about is real, raw, relevant. I'm not going to talk about something that I have not been through. But if you need a platform, make DM Mr. TMI. He's that is his name on IG, TikTok, on all platforms, and or you can like this video up under and say, hey, help me out. I want to get the podcast, and let's see if we could get you in there. You could do some 15-minute clips, some 20-minute clips. You could come on here and perfect your craft. If it's something that you want to talk about and you want to be on this show with authentic ears, make sure you just like, subscribe, share, or just drop it below or DM me. Hey, we are out of here. Thank you, Miss Tracy, for your time today. And we are hoping that we'll see Miss Tracy again, you guys. We out. Bye.